The game viewing took place in the most northerly part of the large Chobe National Park in Botswana. This area is marked in the south by a tar road and in the north by the Chobe River, which also forms the border with Namibia. This is day 2 of the safari in the Chobe National Park, game viewing along the Chobe River. Yesterday, very interesting, lots of sightings, also small birds, and one herd of elephants of approximately 100 animals. Let's see what today's game drive has in store for us. The ground hornbill belongs to the family of the hornbills. Like all hornbills, it is a good flyer, but is mostly looking for food on the ground. Not visible on the ground, but in flight, its outer wings are white. The buffalo is usually surrounded by cattle egrets. Even a great egret is not too shy to benefit from insects chased into the air by the hoofs of the buffalo. Even a little egret, identifiable by the black beak, joins in with the other parasites. Somewhat surprising, the large concentration of marabou storks. A great egret busy hunting. Now he has discovered something. Mistake. Quickly getting rid of it and cleaning the beak with water. The glossy ibis is part of the ibis family, easily identifiable by the long curved beak. The call of the blacksmith lapwing is like hitting on an anvil with a hammer. Kudu cows don't carry horns. At times they are moving about in a group without the presence of one or more bulls. A magnificent Impala ram resting and chewing the cud. The Impala cannot be mistaken for the Puku, an antelope which in Botswana only occurs near the Chobe River and further north in Angola and Zambia. dwarf heron stalking its prey highly concentrated. The neck is retracted and will let the beak shoot forward at high speed with equal precision. Already it has caught a small fish. A specialist for hunting water snails. Its beak is highly suited for the prey it catches. It can crack the housing of the snails with ease and then extract the juicy content. The sacred ibis. The ancient Egyptians worshipped this bird as the god Thoth to protect them from plagues. To be honest, it wasn't always that successful. An elephant eats green foliage and grass of up to 250 kilograms per day. Its metabolism is not that efficient as it discards 40% almost unprocessed. This is 100 kilograms of dung, in which some birds and also baboons find still morsels of food. A family group of sable antelope. The young ones are born with a light brown color, which over time is changing until the adults attain the black color of the hide. The bull is easily identified by the horns, which are bent backward, almost forming a half circle. A formidable Kudu bull at the waterhole. As soon as a competitor is approaching, it bends its back like a humpback. In this section of the Chobe National Park, one can often see large herds of Impala. At certain times, the ewes will be separated and driven away by dominant rams to join their harem. Only once the water level is low can one really appreciate the length of the feet of the black-winged stilt in relation to its body. One can hardly believe that these thin sticks still carry skin, bone, blood vessels, muscles and nerves. The Cape teals next to it are not disturbed by its presence during their midday. It is impressive what this red-billed hornbill is able to manage with his long beak. It can use it like a pair of tweezers to pick up food. It is almost unbelievable that this small pied kingfisher tries to swallow such a relatively large fish. repeatedly hitting the branch on which it sits in order to break the bones, making it easier to swallow the fish. And then the time has come. The carmine bee-eater can only watch in awe how this spectacle unfolds. It only eats insects. The body of the pied kingfisher is not substantially larger, but still manages to eat relatively large fish. I could only find zebras far in the west of this stretch along the Chobe River. Blue wildebeest, often seen moving about with zebras, were not to be seen anywhere. There is a famous migration of zebras and blue wildebeest in the Chobe National Park. I could only speculate that the blue wildebeest hadn't arrived at the Chobe River yet. Giraffe bulls are frequently involved in fighting for dominance. What looks like playing around can be quite dangerous. The hits are performed with their heads and are aimed at the neck and the vertebrae. Hippos are sensitive to sunburn and spend most of the days inside the water. They are exclusively vegetarians and leave the water only at night or during cloud-covered days to forage for grass in the vicinity. Southern Africa had experienced an extended drought. Especially Botswana and Zimbabwe were affected. Elephants feed preferably on foliage. This, however, lacked the required moisture. It is for this reason that one could observe large groups of elephant moving over to the Namibian side to feed on juicy grass alongside Namibian cattle. To get to the other side, they had to cross the Chobe River, a welcome opportunity for a bath. The water level of the Chobe River was low, so that the youngest elephants did not have any problems. As to be expected from elephants, after a bath, a new layer of dust has to be applied to the skin. The African darter and the reed cormorant are enjoying the sun and are getting dry after a diving expedition. Both cannot sweat and dispose of excess heat through the skin. This has to be done through the open beak, similar to crocodiles. Also dogs come to mind. Two male warthogs grazing, identifiable by the four warts or skin folds on the forehead. They prefer grazing on their knees. It obviates the need bending down too far.